Good morning, people. My name is Puya. Good morning, people. My name is Puya.
This is Mina.
And I'm Nilüfer.
So we're going to talk about some entertaining culture about Iranian people and how we entertain ourselves in Iran. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's start. So I have to ask a question behind the camera. So the first question is, how often do people get together in our country?
Well, I think people usually get together once a week in Iran.
On weekends,
Yes.
usually.
So people visit friends and family at least once a week, I would say.
Question number two is, when you host a party, what foods and drinks do you usually serve?
Do you want to take this one?
Tea. Tea, the most
So
popular thing
obviously
here.
we don't have alcoholic
Drinks.
drinks. Yeah.
No, we don't. And then,
It's not, let's say it's not very common, but tea is very common.
yep. And if it's summer,
Yeah, it's like it's not very common. Wink, wink.
then it would be like juice, cold drinks, like orange juice.
But there's always tea,
yeah,
even during summer.
even in the hottest temperatures, tea is always the plan. And then
Yes.
food will be chicken and rice, meat and rice, lamb and rice, rice, rice.
Yeah, traditional Iranian dishes.
Yeah, and then I guess that would be it. Oh, and fruit. At the end of the reception, there is always some fruit. It could be like apples, oranges, cucumbers, grapes. These are the most common. Oh, green gages, which is not common in other countries, I guess. It's specifically for our country.
What?
Green gages.
What's I have never seen any green cages.
I just decided to skip that.
I think in a party I just look for bananas because they are most expensive ones. Yeah.
One of the most expensive ones.
Yeah.
So-
and also different types of pastries,
Yeah.
local pastries.
Cream cakes also sometimes.
Yes, depends on the occasion.
Yeah.
Do you plan any sort of activities for your guests in a party?
Well, I think most people don't do that in Iran. When they have get-togethers or parties, they don't plan any specific activities. They just get together and talk, yes, just hang out, and maybe they do some dancing, maybe they listen to music together, but there's usually no sort of planning, right?
Yeah, and dancing is very rare among families. Usually, it's for younger people.
I wouldn't say it's rare, but because I
For
know a
younger
lot of
people.
families who do that. Yes,
we
and-
don't.
And sometimes maybe, some people play games. But again, I wouldn't say that it's very customary for people to
It's not
plan
planned
activities.
also. Yeah, it's
ahead.
Do you expect people to arrive on time?
Yeah, it's usually like the most common time schedule for like dinner parties or I don't know any kind of get together is usually at 7 o'clock. So everybody starts to show up at that time. We don't usually like set the time. Everybody knows it's like a part of the culture. It's 7. And
But I have
little
a
before
totally
after.
different answer, actually.
I
I think most people arrive a little later than the time that they agreed on. So if you invite people over and you tell them to arrive at 7, they usually arrive at 7:30, maybe 8. I think it's customary to be a little late to a party or a get together in Iran.
And I've heard that in one of the, I guess, European countries, they have the same culture. I don't know, was it Spain?
Yes,
Something
I
like
know.
that?
I know that in some other countries it's also the same.
Yeah.
And but in some cultures you're expected to arrive on time, right? Or maybe even a little early.
Yeah, it's rude to be late.
Yes, but we're not known for our punctuality.
Do you ask your guests if they have any sort of food or drink limitation?
Limitation?
Yes, like if they're, for example, vegan or a vegetarian, if
Diet.
yes,
They're on
if
diet or not.
if they don't drink alcohol, or if they do drink alcohol.
It's a disrespect to like share these kinds of things. Even if you're on a diet, if they bring you any kind of greasy, oily food, you have to eat that, because if you tell them I'm on a diet, I can't eat that, it's a huge disrespect. They would get upset over that, and so no, nobody does that. They, I guess what I see most often is guests like chatter in their ears that. So I was on a diet, but it's just one night, so let's have a treat. It doesn't matter.
Yes, I think it can be rude to refuse any sort of food or drink, or refuse things that the host provides for you. Um, but I also think that it's not very common that people, ask if you have any sort of food or drink limitation.
Do you send out invitation?
We call.
Yeah,
It's just a call.
Usually.
Hi, this weekend you're coming over, and then that's it.
I feel like in the past, people used to send out invitations, like cards, for special occasions, especially like birthday parties. But nowadays, people don't usually send out invitations, not even like online invitations. I think it's just a call or a text.
Yeah.
Because of social media, that's the emergence of social media. They usually have groups, family groups, and then there's a text that tells them the day and the time, and then everybody shows up. Or if anyone can't come, they call, they apologize, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay, I think for girls and boys it's different, because whenever I'm alone at my home, my friend called me, "Are you alone at home? Are your parents home?" I said, "No." "Okay, I'm at your door." So that's
Oh
it.
no, it's
No
different.
invitation. They just always are around. Are guests expected to bring gifts? Special occasion, I think.
Yes.
Special occasions,
Yes,
or if
exactly.
it's the first time, like housewarming parties. Yeah,
Exactly. When someone
They
moves
do
to a
have-
new house, you are expected to bring gifts as a housewarming gift, as you mentioned. And then for birthday parties, maybe anniversaries, right?
exactly. There must be a special occasion. If not, no.
And people are not usually expected to bring anything to parties in Iran either. Like, for instance, I know that in some cultures, people are expected to bring some sort of drink or maybe some sort of food.
I see champagne.
They're not expected to
chocolates.
show up empty-handed, but in our culture, it's totally okay to show up empty-handed.
Flower, a vase, plant vase, champagne, chocolate, as I've mentioned. These are what I see.
Some
Movies.
people bring flowers and maybe
Yeah.
pastries to
Exactly.
get-togethers and parties in here, but almost never food and drinks, I think.
Yes.
I think it's different. For example, for some special occasion like birthday, like if a relatives just bought a new house or bought a new car, you're expected to show up with a gift. I think, yeah, that's kind of
Exactly.
Iranian, but not too much expensive, because when you are giving someone a gift in Iran, the culture expects the person who received the gift expect to give it in return, give it back, yeah. So you have to be tricky with the price of the gift. Yeah.
So you're saying that if it's too expensive, it would create problems?
No, actually, yeah.
Because the other one,
There would be expectations. Like
the
I
recipient
remember
of the gift would have to spend the exact amount of
exactly
money
Yeah.
like
on you.
there was a wedding party that the father of that family said, because in my birthday they gave me a gold coin, now I have to kill myself and buy a gold coin in return, because like 10 years ago I received a gold coin and I still remember that.
Yeah.
And I have to like
And people actually take things like
Give it
this very
back.
seriously.
exactly, they would get upset and they would be like, oh, I spent lots of money for him but he didn't do that for me, so
Yes. So it's
it was a disrespect.
yes, it's sort of a give and take. I think it's very similar in a lot of cultures as well. I mean, if you receive an expensive gift, then you probably would want to give an expensive gift to
Yeah,
that
give it
person,
back.
right?
But
Yes.
I think in AD rules, it is the absolute boss kill. You just got 1 million Timan for AD, and now your parents have to return that money to the children of that relative.
Yeah, it's that,
It's a boss
give
game.
and take. Like it's 100, so you're giving back 100.
So what's the point? No gift.
The point is that we get some money.
We don't. I always return the money.
Really?
Yeah, whenever
Why?
I get the AD, I would I would give it up to my parents.
Uh-huh.
My parents
Did
would
they
count them and return it back to the family relatives.
did they tell you maybe that they want to keep it safe for you?
Yeah, always.
They tricked you.
They tricked me now. Yeah, now I think they tricked me with the candy. How long do get-togethers usually last? Parties last.
It's somewhere around midnight to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and I guess that's the
How
latest
long?
time. So it would be like 7 to midnight. It's
Mhm.
around, and let me count I'm terrible at math, so that would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5, 6, 7 hours.
Yes, a few
Yeah, we're
hours.
English teacher, not mathematician. Get done with it.
I'm not a mathematician yet.
I think somewhere between 2 to 6 hours, depending on what kind of party or get together it is.
Yeah, if there's no dinner, then
Sometimes there is a phrase, I don't know the exact translation in English, it would say toposi asha.
Yeah.
and
Nobody
then it
knows
means that
what
there's no
time it is.
limit.
Yeah. It means that it's going to last very long. Probably.
And if it's a gathering of old people, trust me, you need a phone with full charge.
it'll be boring.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know, maybe you can bring a book, but
That's-
I prefer to have a phone.
That's ageist.
Ages?
Generation gap. we would
With
call it.
respect to all old people, your parties are boring. Okay, now, are the guests expected to stay and help when the party is over?
Yeah, then who's gonna wash the dishes?
I was gonna say no. I don't like to be expected to stay and help when the party is over.
It's not you. It's usually moms who are in charge of the housework at home. They're in charge of the dishwashing at the end of the party as well.
Just cleaning up and
Yeah.
doing the dishes.
Exactly.
But I think most people don't expect that from their guests. Like, they don't expect their guests to stay after the party is over. A lot of people actually prefer, that the guests just go home as soon as possible.
Yeah, actually.
Don't you think?
I think, but I think it's kind of a spin-off. We come across something called taruf in our culture.
Yes.
So we say something that we don't mean it, but I don't know. It's just really hard to explain.
Yeah,
how we can
English
explain.
people call it standing ceremonies, as I've searched in their culture. I guess you call it like that.
I don't know. Maybe if it was a movie, I haven't seen some of that. But for example, in Persian.
Yeah, they
Persian
are
culture.
straightforward.
For example, after the party is finished, for example, the end of the party is actually fruits after the dinner. So, for example, you have a party, family gathering or relative gathering. Okay, they are just eating dinner, and when they finish their meal, when they stand up to pick up the dishes, you or your mother would say, "No, zahmat nakesh. Please, don't bother yourself.
yeah.
Don't bother." But we don't actually mean it.
Mhm.
We get happy that you stand up and take your dishes onto the freaking sink.
Yeah.
I think it's a total thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if an American wants to come to Iran, to your house, do you expect him or her to do that or not?
A foreigner?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, we respect our guests a lot. Like, if it's someone close, yeah, we kind of expect
don't
them to
respect
help
them
us.
much.
No, it's not disrespect. It's just that
A matter of closeness. How
need
close you
their
are.
exactly. We need their help because a lot of dishes pile up. So we would just get happy that at midnight when the women who are expected to do the housework are tired, somebody helps them to share the dishes, share the washing task. But if it's someone a little more distant, they really don't let them even to get up from the sofa. You just have to sit there, eat until you explode, and then they even give you some food to take home. Like, it could be even jam, pickles,
Yeah.
or the leftover food that you can have the next
you
day.
go to a Persian get together or party, you can be sure that you're going to be well fed.
Yeah, even you'll have enough food the following day.
Is it okay for guests to leave early?
Is it okay for them to leave early? Well, I feel like if you have some sort of something you need to take care of and you have to be somewhere else, then you can talk to the host and explain why you have to leave early, and then maybe leave a couple of hours earlier than the rest of the guests. But in general, if you're someone who always leaves, parties sooner than everybody else, and without any explanations, that would be considered a little rude. Like if you just get up and leave, that would be rude. But if you talk to the host and explain, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I've never seen that in any kind of party I've attended. At a certain time when everything is served and the host starts to yawn.
Any sort of any sign of sleepiness, maybe is a sign.
Even sleeping, standing up would mean that one of the guests, have to volunteer to get up and go out, and then everybody else would do the same, and it means that the party is over.
I think it's hard because everything should be understood by the guest itself. No? For example, there's a
There
certain
would be
schedule.
signals.
There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure to be a guest, so he would be better off to come to our house, But I think there's a. Okay, guys, we hope you enjoyed this video.
If you have any questions about Iran, feel free to leave them in the comment section.
Bye bye.